looking directly at each other and imagining that we're in the same space together.
It's just a background.
All right, so let's take a nice deep breath. We'll breathe in, just being together, just being safe in a warm place. We'll breathe in all our prayers for everyone who has to be outside, everyone who is suffering in this miserable weather. And we'll breathe out everything we can get rid of, hoping to cleanse ourselves and the world at the same time. So it's not Hanukkah and Chelm, but it feels a little like Chelm tonight. So I think it's appropriate. We've entered Chelm. During my portion in the middle of the service, we'll have a chance to actually investigate where Chelm is and why it's celebrated. So I'm looking forward to sharing a little bit about what I learned, but I'm going to turn it over to Cantor. I'm so glad to have her voice back and to have her back with us.
Oh my God.
It's back, right? But it's not all the way back. So I hope people can hear me tonight. Welcome to Shir Shalom, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Happy Hanukkah.
Okay.
And the first thing we're going to do is light the candles, and I'll let Rabbi lead that.
So we have our Hanukkah candles, or Hanukkah. Cantor set hers up beautifully. I think it's easier when you're standing. And I see Bruce just entered, so welcome. Bruce, you want to say a quick welcome?
Sure, real quick. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and welcome to Plan B. This is not what we anticipated for tonight, but as you've known all along for the last almost 3 years, we go with the flow. We make plans, like the old joke says, you want to make God laugh, you make plans. That's what we did. So we changed our plans for tonight. We will have all of the in-person festivities next Friday night. And as I've said before, being able to do a service this way via Zoom, this is a byproduct, a good byproduct of the pandemic. Before COVID, we never would have thought of this. Here we are tonight. It's horrible out there, but we're all in our homes, safe and warm. Hopefully everyone is still safe and warm and has power and everything. And here we are all together. And look at this, we're lighting our Hanukkah candles together. So Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah, lots of stuff going on despite the weather. I will be back with the announcements a little bit later.
Wonderful. Cantor's going to lead us in candlelight. So if you want to light, we're on the 6th night tonight, which means that with our 2 Shabbat candles, we basically fill our Hanukkah candles. So it's a tradition to say the blessings for Hanukkah first, because it comes before Shabbat technically, and then Shabbat last, so that we wouldn't light fire after we light our Shabbat candles. So if you want to light your Hanukkah candles, Cantor will lead us.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu v'hadikneh she'acharuka. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim l'avoteinu, hayamim ahem baz ma'aseh.
And now we turn to our Hanukkah candles. Oh, let's do Matzah. Perfect.
מהו צור ישועתי, לך נאם לשבח, תקום בתפילתי, ושם תודה לשבח, ליתן כיבובך, לצור הנבח, לזכור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח, הזכור בשיר מזמור, חנוכת המזבח. Rock of ages, let us sing, praise your saving power. You amidst the raging foes were our sheltering tower. Furious hail assailed us, but your arm availed us, and your word broke the sword when our own strength failed us, and your word broke the sword when our own strength failed us.
Oh, goody.
Hanukkah, Hanukkah, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, עירי ערב רב. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבון סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, עניים וטוב. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, happy holiday. Light the lights for 8 nights, everything's okay. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, games for everyone. Dreidel spin, lose or win, come and join the fun. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, חג יפה כל כך, אור חביב מסביב, עירי ערב רב. חנוכה, חנוכה, סביבון סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, סוף סוף סוף, עניים וטוב.
Beautiful. Should we light our Shabbat candles too? Maybe we'll take our Shamash. Are you doing Shalom Aleichem first?
No, it doesn't matter. I can go back and forward. It's shall I say, cooperating today. So we can do
Right.
the Kiddush and everything. There.
Perfect. Well, it might be nice to light your Shabbat candles with your Shamash, like Boaz is doing now.
Oh, okay.
And we have our full 9 candles in a way lit.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kirshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lecharit ner shel Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Borei Peri Agafen, Baruch Adonai Elohim melech haolam, Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon, Inchilanu zikaram lemaseh bereshit, ki hu yom tekilah למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים, כי באנו אתה, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, בשבת קודשך, באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש השבת. Amen for all of us.
L'chaim. Wonderful. And now I think we're ready to sing Shalom Aleichem, welcoming in the angels of Shabbat.
I can't hear anybody, but I hope you're singing loud at your houses. Please do. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharet, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedek Shalom, Malachi Shalom, Malachi Elyon, Mimelech, Malachi Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
I had my two boys singing along vigorously.
Oh, fabulous.
Let's welcome Shabbat with Lecha Dodi. On the last verse, you can decide to stand, but we can look towards each other and welcome Shabbat into this room.
Lecha Dodi likrat kala, B'nei Shabbat ekabela. 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 אורי בשלום עטרת עליו, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך כמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה בואי חלה. לך דודי, לך בני שבת נקבלה, לך תודי לקרוא כלה. בני שבת נקבלה. One more time. לך תודי לקרוא כלה. בני שבת נקבלה, לך תודי לקרוא כלה. בני שבת נקבלה.
And here's our call of community, our Baruch Hu, if you choose to stand. Try that.
No, excuse me. Baruchu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
This is an hour of change. Within it, we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it, we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over?
Shabbat Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אלוהים מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננת לברך ודיברת בם בשבתך ובביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם במזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו עשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
Boy, don't those sunflowers look good today. So we'll have an opportunity. Is this our silent prayer section? So take an opportunity for the Amidah quietly, either standing or sitting or whatever your comfort is, and we'll take time for our own reflections. Together, we acknowledge with thanks that you are Adonai, our God, and God of our ancestors forever. You are the rock of our lives, the shield of our salvation in every generation. Let us thank you and praise you for our lives, which are in your hand, for our souls, which are in your care, for your miracles that we experience every day, and for your wondrous deeds and favors at the end, at every time of day, evening, morning, and noon. O good one, whose mercies never end, O compassionate one, whose kindness never fails, we forever put our hope in you.
O sed shalom imroma, O yaseh shalom aleichem, E'ar kol Yisrael, V'imru, V'imru, Amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, E'ar kol Yisrael, Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, Shalom aleinu, Yaakov Yisrael.
And we could hear the beautiful birds in Cantor Frank's house, just like doves calling out for peace. So we have an opportunity now for prayers of healing, and we turn our attentions to those out around us and beside us. I want to say a special prayer for Debbie Yellen, who just lost her husband and has also in need of health and healing. Also thinking about Gertrude Sloan, 98-year-old Holocaust survivor who was in the hospital this week. If you have others that you're thinking about, just unmute and we'll have a chance to say their names and reach out to them in our way this way tonight.
Miles Levy,
Paul and Jerry Cheney,
Lisa Steinfeld and Ruth Spivak,
Jennifer Mecca,
Pastor Mikola Dryfish,
Just want to also add my brother-in-law, Josh's father, who has just got diagnosed with terminal cancer. We're thinking about him and the family. Let's bring all those names together, and Cantor will lead us in the Misha Berach.
Mishenera amote ko habracha leimote. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mir shem be'erba Eloheinu b'kol habracha l'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit. And let us say, Amen.
Complete healing of body and soul. May all our prayers go out to those in need. May we feel strength and comfort in singing that together. Especially thankful for both Cantor and I, like so many of you, have been sick at different times this week. I think with the pandemic winding down and all the different ways that we've been together, there's a lot of stuff going around. I'm sure in our circles, you've been feeling it, in our family and in our synagogue family. So let's continue to look out for one another, especially today. I felt a sense of gratitude knowing that I had a place, that my family was safe, that we had food here, and that we were going to be okay with the snowstorm, even if it lasted a couple of days, even if our power went out. But there's so many people, including people in our own congregation, I'm sure, who have lost power, who really, it is very trying and the people that are outside. We always think about them. Hopefully they found shelter in this. May our hearts extend out to them. Okay, so tonight I wanted to share with you about Chelm. This was our service to honor the people of Chelm. And when we put this on the calendar a couple months ago and started thinking about this, this was a beloved story, certainly to Cantor and myself, that we grew up with. These are characters that we laughed at as children and thought about. And we kind of assumed that the whole Jewish world knew about them. One of the interesting things about this is that we've had a chance to educate about Chelm. I've shared some stories over the last month on Torah thoughts. We've tried to get the word out. Bruce, of course, during services has, spoken about the different stories. But what I realized is these are traditions to some of us, but not to all of us. Raise your hand if you knew about Chelm prior. I knew Harvey would. Okay, I see Elaine. Yeah, but not all of you. So it's a wonderful time to teach. And actually, because we were on Zoom and I can give a presentation, I actually did some research. And it was extremely interesting what I found out about Chelm and about cities of fools in general. So I'm going to share with you a little presentation to really take you into what it means to be from Chelm. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen on my other computer. I like to use two different devices here so I can kind of see you at the same time as well, because it's always different when you're leading. Okay, so the Fools of Chelm. This is a brief history. First, this is the version of a story. There's many versions of Chelm stories. This is similar to the one that Bruce had told a couple times in services. Once upon a time, an angel carrying a sack full of foolish souls back to heaven for repair snagged his sack on a tree growing on top of a tall mountain top. The sack tore, and alas, all the poor foolish souls spilled out of the ripsack, rolled down the mountainside into the town of Chelm, where they stayed from that day on. This really shows the kind of landscape that Chelm is in, and also a little bit of humor about it. I think Bruce's story involved the creation of the world, but there's probably many, many variations. So first of all, Chelm is actually a city. It's in the southeastern of Poland. It's near Lviv in Ukraine. It's only a little bit, maybe 60 miles across the border. So this actually might be a place that many of the Ukrainians have gone to seek shelter from the war in their country right now. It's a modest size 60 of 60,000. And you can see it has a beautiful down square, and here I found the Christmas tree. So this might be how it looks at this time of year. This is a description of Jewish life. There has been Jewish life in Chelm for a long time. There was up to here about 13,000 Jews. Here's one description. It says there was about 60% of the population before the Holocaust. There were many Jewish artisans, merchants, shopkeepers, sawmills, alcohol traders, mills, various industrial undertakings that belonged to Jews, Jewish banks, merchants, and artisan bank, charitable societies, a Talmud Torah, religious school, an intensive community Jewish life, various unions, clubs, dramatic circles, libraries, and Jewish newspapers. I want you to keep that in mind as we go through the story, because sadly, that is not where the story ends. So one of the things to note is that actually this idea of a city of fools goes way back. I was shocked to learn this. It actually goes all the way back to Greece. In Greece, they had a city of fools called Abdera, and they had lots of jokes about it. And actually, Abdera was made famous by a German many years later. But this is how he described it as he collected some of their stories, I guess. And it sounds exactly like Chelm. The Abderites never lacked ideas, but rarely were their ideas suitable to the occasion where they were applied. If they did something especially foolish, which happened rather often, that was generally the result of their wanting to do things all too well. And whenever they deliberated earnestly and at length about matters concerning their community, one could with certainly count on their coming to the worst of all possible decisions. So you can see this is exactly, for those of you familiar with Chelm, that is exactly the same idea in the film. But there's also outside of Germany, apparently in Gotham, which we might know from Batman. And here you have a story about King John, who wanted to come through Gotham. And in order for the king to come, they needed a highway. But the people of Gotham didn't want a public highway. I mean, who would want that to come right through your public square? The village's famed imbecility. So they pretended to be crazy. And wherever the messengers went, they saw rustics engaged in some sort of observed task. Based on this report, John determined to have his hunting lodge elsewhere. And the wise men boasted, "We ween there more fools pass through Gotham than remain in it." So here you have a funny anecdote about why, in this case, it isn't the sack of fools. They were pretending to be foolish so they didn't have to endure the highway and the king's visit. This is the more famous city in Germany called Schilda. And here you have an example, which is exactly like out of Chelm. There was a little town called Schilda, and the people who lived there were called Schildeburgers. Schildburgers were well known for their wisdom and wit. Everyone sought their advice for all kinds of trouble. Schildburgers always knew precisely how to fix any problem. Whenever any prince or king or lord or ordinary man was puzzled or perplexed or stumped, he would call upon a wise man from Schilda to give him instruction, and that didn't go very well. So that was one really famous city. And here's some other ones. There was Metz, Firth, Prague, which I know some of you visited recently, and Poznan, in addition to Chelm. So where did Chelm come from? In 1873, we have the first actual official reference to it in a guide of Yiddish by Friedrich Wilhelm. And it talks about it, the town in Chelm had a similar reputation of that of Schilda. So at that point, people didn't know Chelm at all in 1873, so they had to compare it to another city of fools. The person who made Chelm famous, cantor, you'll love this, was actually a cantor. Menachem Kipnis, who had a beautiful voice and really did a lot of research on Yiddish popular folk music, even to the consternation of the rabbis and the Jewish community around him. So he was born in Volnya, Ukraine. And in 1878, he started writing in different newspapers. And he started actually writing a report on Chelm. It was so popular that Jewish women apparently, I don't know if it's anecdotal or not, they actually begged him to stop because they were from Chelm and they thought they would never get a husband because of the stories from Chelm. So thought that was amusing. Very handsome guy. This, of course, is what happened. This is the real tragedy of Chelm. If you have ever read the Nathan Englander book, short story book that came out about 20 years ago, he writes about the fools of Chelm and the Nazis. And unfortunately, December 1st, 1939, Jewish forces forced 2,000 Jewish men between 60 and 60 into the central market square. Some were murdered, then they were forced to walk to the city 50 kilometers away, and a few thousand more were shot. 400 men they forced to swim across the Bug River, frozen in January. Most of them drowned. Almost all of Chelm's other Jewish residents were deported to the Sogdadur concentration camp. When the town was liberated, July 22nd, 1944, only 15 Jews from that 15,000 or so. A terrible tragedy. So as we think about them, in a way, we're honoring the people of Chelm and their legacy. In a way, we're kind of defying the Nazis, but a terrible tragedy. When we think about cities of fools, we actually have many examples today. I just thought of a few. Gilligan's Island, I thought, was a good one. Schitt's Creek, those of you who know that popular show on Netflix, and also The Simpsons, as I was thinking about it, are a great example of a city of fools. So we still use this motif quite a bit, all the way from Greece to today. So as we think about Chelm, and next week we'll have a chance to act and see some of these stories in real life and maybe dress like them, we're really honoring them. Honoring this tradition as well that is very much alive and will continue to be, because how much fun is it to have a city of fools? I'm going to stop my share now. Let's see. If anyone has any comments to make, your floor is yours. Any city of fools that you can think of, or anything, the familiar stories you have about Chelm. I'll give a couple minutes for conversation if you'd like. Okay. Look at that, Schitt's Creek. Cantor's has that. Yeah, it's a wonderful example of a
Spelled
today, don't you think?
S-C-H-I-T. Let's clarify that.
Yes, yeah. That's the whole joke. It's
This was one of my Hanukkah presents.
up Schitt's Creek, right? It's a wonderful show written by Jews, so they no doubt knew film. Okay, so we'll have a chance to talk more and experience it next week. But I'm really honored actually this year that we're going to be able to bring out some of those stories. All right, I think we're ready for Aleinu at this point. So I'll turn it back to Cantor.
If you'd like to rise, we'll start as we return back to the screen share with Aleinu on page 586. Oh, actually, you don't even have books. You have your screens. Can everyone see it on the screen? It's working? Okay, thank you. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latit gedula liotzer brishit, shelo asanu k'goyei ha'aratzot, ולא שמענו כמשפחות האדמה שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו בכל ככל המונם, אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו ושמו אחד.
All right, we're going to turn now to our Mourner's Kaddish. I thank Nancy for preparing our virtual list. We are, first of all, remembering Jerry Reisberg, who passed this last week. Beautiful soul. We had a service on Thursday for him. Adrienne Sarr, also who died this past week. And on our Shloshim list, Chris Fazio, Jack Russo, Joyce Seitz, Candy Shepard. On our yard site list from years past, we remember Mildred Bennett, Sophie Berman, Pearson L. Cohen, Joseph Eisbrow, Bernard Engel, Samuel Fagan, Rose Fertig, Ronald Feugelman, Mary Frankie, Norman Friedman, Paul Gold, Joseph Greenberg, William Green, Burton W. Gassau, Ida Haas, Anna Hoffman, Patricia Horowitz, Ezra Hurwitz, Jack Cariff, Jonathan Leiter, Lillian Levy, Jacob Leipzitz, Charlotte R. Majewski, Esther Mintzer, Dr. Alex Morrison, Jerry Olbert, Rosalind Posterman, Cecile Rice Ressler, Harry Rubin, Sam Schaefer, Jenny Siegel, Ruth Seide, Sandy Schweitzer Siegel, Donald M. Silverberg, Ann Slonim, Selim Terzi, Abraham Saul Weinstein, Dina Yud, and Dr. Charlotte Udell. And if others have any names, just please feel free to say them now.
Nathan Galinsky, Murray Krebs.
And we'll say the Mourner's Kaddish together. Yikadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Yalma Dibra, Chirte V'Yamlik Mochute, V'chayachon of Yamachon, V'chayeda Kol Beit Yisrael, V'galav Yizman Karib Yimromein, Yehi Shmei Rabbah Barach Leolam Olmeo Maya, Yiparak V'Shabak V'Pa'ar V'Tramam V'Itnaseh, Yitadar V'Yitaleh V'Yitalal Shemeda Kudashah B'Rechu, Leila Min Kol Berchata B'Shirata, Tishbachata V'Nechamata, Damiram V'Yalma V'Yimromein, Yehi Shlomo Rabbah Min Shemaya, Chaim Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Yimromein, Oset Shalom V'Yimromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Al Kol Yisrael V'Al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'Yimromein. May God grant peace to those in mourning and to the world. And may all those souls be at peace. You may be seated. Zikronam Livracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. Before we offer the announcements, Sheila provided a beautiful, heartfelt. Cantor, why don't we take down the screen? Sheila provided a beautiful, heartfelt ode to her father that I'd like to read, Joseph Eisbrow. A heart that knows not of hate, a soul that knows it needs resolve to wait for twinkling stars and dreams come true, for peace, for love, and all that is you. Surround yourself with the light of the sun, warming voices because you are the one. Your command post has never really changed. You are my captain, my corporal, life scenery rearranged. Then let me know, although you are gone, you will always stay close to me. You pave my life with sparkling jewels of love, showing me to be forgiving is the only way to be. This heart that knows not of hate, this heart that knows it needs resolve to wait, for twinkling stars and dreams come true. All the good I am in life, Daddy, I am because of you. Thank you, Sheila. Beautiful poem. I'd like to turn it over to Bruce for our announcements.
Shabbat Shalom again, everyone. Happy Hanukkah. Again, Plan B, but it was a lovely service tonight, all things considered. Thank you to Rabbi and Cantor for a very lovely service on this Shabbat. That was not what we planned. So nice job adapting. We would like to wish Dan Ferber a happy 45th birthday and a happy 39th anniversary to Joan and John Allendorf. And if you would like to have a birthday or anniversary mentioned in the announcements, let Joanne know, and we'll be happy to include it. Chance to get a little shout out to some of our members on their special occasions. Tomorrow morning, we will be bundled up inside, so virtual offerings, Torah study at 9, Shabbat morning service, and virtual Kiddush luncheon featuring, I hope, lots of hot chocolate at 11 in the morning. Both of them are via Zoom. Please see the website for the links. Community Religious School is on winter break until Sunday, January 8th. We're going to be back next Friday night in person, weather permitting, for our Hanukkah in Chelm, and our consecration and our new member Shabbat. All of the good stuff that was planned for tonight is just pushed back a week. We will be in person for all of that. That's Friday at 7 o'clock. We will have skits and jokes, songs, and silliness. Dress, it's an old world theme, as you know, Hanukkah and Chelm. So dress in your most fiddler on the roofish attire. And then, of course, the Oneg Shabbat will feature a latke bar. And because it's now pushed back a week, next Friday is December 30th, we will also have a champagne toast for New Year's, which means, Cantor, on top of all your special Hanukkah songs, you're going to have to do Old Lang Syne as well. So we'll have to throw one more thing at you. And because we pushed it back a week, the good news is you guys have more time to RSVP. If you have not yet RSVP'd for it, the deadline is now December 27th, which is Tuesday. You need to let Joanne know by then. We will continue our High Club drawings every week, every Wednesday night through Purim. Tickets are $18. 3 winners every week, $18, $36, and $54. Grand prizes will be $180, $360, and $540. That will be drawn at the Purim Spiel. Anytime you win, your ticket goes back in the pot, so you have a chance to win again. Hey, congratulations to the Women of Shir Shalom for a very nice Hanukkah party and accessory auction Wednesday night. I'm told that auctioneer Marina Finkelstein was, quote, fabulous. Everyone, just about everyone, also went home with a new to them item. I'm sorry, Joanne, what were you saying about the RSVPs? Let's see.
I was saying
we're starting over.
started
No,
over.
it's not she's giving you extra time. You're starting over. So even if you RSVP'd the first time, RSVP again so we can get an accurate head count for the latke bar and all the other good stuff. As of now, we have a pickleball open play Sunday morning, Christmas Day, from 10 to 1. That is, of course, weather permitting. Watch your emails because we know how the weather is this weekend. We also have one Monday, the 26th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. Again, weather permitting. That one has, I would think, a much better shot at happening. Thank you to Todd, of course, for organizing and sponsoring all the pickleball festivities. And if you have any questions, talk to David Sapphire. He is our pickleball chair. He is, I guess, the grand exalted poobah of pickleball. We have all sorts of events coming up in the next couple of weeks. They are all listed in our service leaflet, which is online since we were not in person tonight. All you have to do is click on Watch Our Services Live and scroll down to the service leaflet. The temple office, sad to say, the temple office will be closed through January 2nd. The staff is getting a well-deserved break at the end of the year. They will reopen Tuesday, January 3rd. If there are emergencies during that time, please contact Joanne. Her cell is 432-2995. Or you can just, shout out. She'll probably hear you because she's always listening and tuned in. If you need anything at all, please feel free to reach out to Rabbi Alex, Cantor Frank, Todd, Joanne, or myself, even though Todd is, of course, down south where it's warm. Although Rumor has it he's willing to get on a plane and fly up here and shovel your driveway if you ask. So just if you need it, he's there for you. Stay warm, stay safe. Shabbat Shalom. Happy Hanukkah. Go Bills. I hope no one, first of all, I hope no one loses power, but I hope no one loses power during the Bills game tomorrow. Go Bills.
I want you to know my candle made it to the very end. Right, Bruce? I was like, is it going to outlast
Mine are
your
still going.
announcements? It died right on your last word. Is that crazy?
By the way, thank you to Carol Schmeidler for my sweatshirt. Put on your yarmulke. It's time for Hanukkah. Got to wear it to a Friday night service, which is nice.
And I saw Nancy Begori here. We have many people celebrating Christmas in our community. So Merry Christmas to them. And I hope Nancy, she does so much work for us. So I'm so glad she joined us tonight. All right, Cantor, we're ready for our closing
Sure.
music.
Sure. So we're going to warm up with the singing of this so you can learn the chorus of this. I will do the verses. Then we have a little bit of a surprise at the end. 2,000 years ago, Judah the sun kindled a candle of light, fought a great fight in Jerusalem, kindled a candle of light. Judah defeated the enemy, kindled a candle of light. And all of the Jews in the city were free, kindled a candle of light. Here's the chorus I need you to sing. Here we go. Kindle a candle of Hanukkah, kindle a candle tonight. Kindle a candle of menorah, kindle a candle of light. Kindle a candle of light. One pot of purified oil was found. Kindle a candle of light. The rest have been scattered all over the ground. Kindle a candle of light. The oil lit up the temple with lights. Kindle a candle of light. The miracle was that it lasted 8 nights. Kindle a candle of light. Try the chorus with me. Kindle a candle of Hanukkah, kindle a candle tonight. Kindle a candle of the menorah, kindle a candle of light. Kindle a candle of light. So let's see if we can do this now. Let's see if this works. By the way, there's 6 or 7 people that are sharing these Zoom screens that are in this production of Kindle a Candle of Light that we did in 2020 during the pandemic when we weren't really able to sing together. We wanted to do something special for Hanukkah, and we had this producer, and we sent her all our individual recordings and things that it took months to compile everything and then have her process it. And I have to apologize. I am smack in the center just about the whole time, even if I'm not singing, but that's like how she designed it and everything. And feel free to giggle and chuckle because we're just filled with glee, even though it was the middle of a pandemic. So let's see if we can get this going. Oops. Might not work. It worked. Oh dear, it worked during my rehearsals of it. Ah! Raise your, can you hear?
Kindle a candle of light. Judah defeated the enemy. Kindle a candle of light. Then all of the Jews in the city were free. Kindle a candle of light.
Sing along with it.
Kindle a candle of Hanukkah. Kindle a candle tonight. Kindle a candle on the menorah. Kindle a candle of light. Kindle a candle of light. One vessel of purified oil was found. Kindle a candle of light. The rest had been scattered all over the ground. Kindle a candle of light. The oil lit up the temple in light. Kindle a candle of light. The miracle was that it lasted 8 nights. Kindle a candle of light. Kindle a candle of Hanukkah. Kindle a candle tonight. Kindle a candle of the menorah. Kindle a candle of light. 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 Kindle a candle of Hanukkah. Kindle a candle tonight. Kindle a candle of the menorah. Kindle a candle of light. That's one. Kindle a candle of light. That's two. Kindle a candle of light. That's three. Kindle a candle of light. That's four. Kindle a candle of light. That's five. Kindle a candle of light. That's six. Kindle a candle of light. That's seven. Kindle a candle of light. That's eight. Kindle a candle of Hanukkah. Kindle a candle tonight. Kindle a candle on the menorah. Kindle a candle of light. Kindle a candle of light. Kindle a candle of light.
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah.
beautiful.
I hope you enjoyed that. Boy, that brings back some memories, you know? And so many wonderful faces of our friends in there. And I have a question for you. Does anybody who was not involved in the production know who was counting down the candles for us?
I know. It was Al Gellin.
Ah, there you go. So there was a lot of people involved. So much fun. Yeah,
That was so good.
Joanne, did you want to do the motzi?
Sure, thank you.
Olive? You do?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lachem min haaretz. Amen.
As you came in peace, may you leave in peace. For those of us staying on here, feel free to come and schmooze a little bit. What a wonderful way to be together. Not the same as in person, but how wonderful. And we got to see that great video. I forgot how good those videos were. It was really wonderful. And no one's aged at all.
And Rabbi and Cantor kept power during the entire service. Neither of you
We lost power during the service. We had a power
did?
surge and lost the internet, and I had a reboot and everything during Rabbi's sermon. And I wanted to hear so much about the little villages.
I'll send them to you, but you can get it online anyways. We'll give you. We'll let you do that. Karen, I'm glad you're back online though.
Mhm.
It'll be on Boxcast, and you can go on Facebook and watch it too.
Again?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah,
it'll be
it's on there right
Sunday
now,
Club.
so you can look at it.
Okay. Thank you.
And you can also go to our website and just hit live now, and then it'll lead you to the last service.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can fast
Who-
forward to what you
Yeah,
need.
because I've been enjoying your Torah thoughts for the month. They're so cute and funny. And I wanted to hear what you had to say about the little town.
Yeah,
That's
it's
just
somewhat
when
of
we
a-
had the power surge.
Karen, it's somewhat of a tragic story because all the population was killed by the Nazis.
Mhm.
But it's also amazing. These stories of fools go back to Greece. So very interesting. I have my presentation if anyone wants it. It has the references on the back. So it's really, really wonderful, interesting. I never thought about it, that it's actually in popular culture today in ways we didn't realize.
Rabbi, what was the third city after Gilligan's Island and
Schitt's Creek,
Schitt's Creek?
it's called.
Schitt's Creek? What was the third one?
I think The Simpsons. Do you think The Simpsons is a city of fools?
I just didn't hear it.
Yeah, that's I meant to get a picture of it. Somehow it didn't come through, but I think The Simpsons is very much Chelm, the more I thought about it. And I'm sitting next to my son here who watched every single episode for 32 seasons. So,
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
kids today.
Yeah.
Now he's
That's
embarrassed.
okay. I've watched.
I'm sure he's not the only kid that's watched that much. Oh.
I've watched.
All right,
Schitt's
take
Creek
care. We're gonna
4 times
get back,
through,
get back
from
to
beginning to
Shabbat.
end, beginning to end, beginning to
Happy
end.
Hanukkah, everyone.
Happy
Shabbat
Hanukkah.
shalom. Stay warm.
Hanukkah.
I
And
know.
the
Stay
candle.
warm and safe.
Power. Keep your
Thank
power.
you so much.
Stay warm.
Shabbat shalom.
Thank you.
Shabbat shalom. Good night.
Happy Hanukkah.
Happy
And
Hanukkah.
Hanukkah, stay
Hanukkah.
warm and safe. Bye now.